Good evening, everyone. We will call to order the Sacramento County Planning Commission for Monday, December 16th, 2024. Would you please call the roll?
Commissioners Borja, Conklin,
Here.
Corona Sabagnano,
Here.
Devlin,
Here.
and Rathel. We do have our quorum.
Thank you. And will you please make the announcements, or I'm sorry, will you please stand and lead us, Commissioner Devlin, in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Absolutely. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. If you please make the announcements for this evening.
Certainly. Let's see here. So the county fosters public engagement during the meeting and encourages public participation, civility, and use of courteous language. The Commission does not condone the use of profanity, vulgar language, gestures, or other inappropriate behavior, including personal attacks or threats directed towards any meeting participant. Seating may be limited and available on a first-come, first-served basis. To make an in-person public comment, please complete and submit a speaker request form to the clerk. Each individual will be invited to the podium to make a comment. Members of the public may send a written comment, which is distributed to Commission members and filed in the record. Contact information is optional and should include the meeting date and agenda or off-agenda item number to be sent as follows. Email a comment to boardclerk@saccounty.gov or mail a comment to 700 H Street, Suite 2450, Sacramento, California, 95814.
Thank you very much. And that brings us to our contested and one and only item on the agenda this evening. Will you please call item number one?
Yes, so your item number one this evening, Commissioners, is PLMP 2024-00065. It's for vesting tentative subdivision map and design review. It is located approximately 1/2 mile from the intersection of Bradshaw Road and Bollinger Drive in the Vineyard community, and the environmental document is an addendum.
Does? Perfect. Thank you, Lydia. All right. Good evening, Commissioners. I'm Emma Carrico, Associate Planner and Project Manager for the Morvay Southeast Subdivision Project. The project site is located approximately 1/2 mile west of the intersection of Bradshaw Road and Bollinger Drive in the North Vineyard Station specific plan area. The site is currently undeveloped. The topography is generally flat and predominantly characterized by annual grasslands. There are also 6 seasonal vernal pools on the site, totaling approximately 0.49 acres. The project site is zoned Residential 5 and Recreation. Surrounding parcels are generally undeveloped or rural residential large lots. However, the developed Vineyard Point subdivision is to the south, and there are several other subdivision projects that are pending or approved for other surrounding parcels. The project site is number 6 in green on your map here. To the immediate east, number 17 in blue, is the recently approved Spring Garden subdivision. To the west, number 8 in blue, is the Morvay Southwest subdivision, which is currently in the process of recording their final map. I'll provide some more details on how the project is designed to connect with surrounding development in later slides. The proposed project is actually a resubmittal of a previous expired map. The board approved the original entitlement package for the Morvay Southeast project on June 25th, 2007. The original project included an amendment to the North Vineyard Station specific plan, a rezone, a vesting tentative subdivision map, and an affordable housing plan. The specific plan amendment and rezone were effectuated. However, the map was approved for a 3-year period, and despite receiving several statutory time extensions and a 5-year discretionary time extension, the map expired on March 6th, 2023. Although the current proposal is referred to as a resubmittal, it is considered a new map that is subject to current ordinances, policies, and standards. With the new submittal, the applicant is requesting a vesting tentative subdivision map to create 102 single-family residential parcels, 2 landscape lots, and 1 park parcel, as well as a design review to determine substantial compliance with the Sacramento County Countywide Design Guidelines. A quick note on the nature of vesting tentative maps. A vesting map is a form of tentative subdivision map which confers a vested right to proceed with development consistent with the ordinances, policies, and standards in effect at the time the map application is approved. whereas a non-vesting or just standard tentative subdivision map may be subject to new requirements if an ordinance, policy, or standard is changed after approval of the map and before the issuance of a building permit. Typically, the Planning Commission is the final hearing authority for tentative subdivision maps. However, for vesting maps, the board is the final hearing authority. So the board will be the final hearing authority for this project. Here is the proposed map. The residential parcels range in size from 5,502 square feet to 9,395 square feet. The park parcel is situated at the northeast corner. It is 1.71 acres. However, it is designed to connect to a 3.4 acre park site, 1.5 acre drainage basin, and 2 acre open space to the east in the Spring Garden subdivision to create a total 8.61 acres of park and open space. So you can just kind of see there faintly to the west, there's the drainage basin and then some park and open space, and all of that will be connecting, even though you see the property line there, to create one large open space drainage park parcel. To the east, excuse me. Thank you, Bill. There are also two 25-foot landscape and pedestrian corridors, lots A and B, along the frontage of 4th Street, which will be constructed out from Waterman Road to the west as the subdivision projects each develop. The park site and the landscape corridors will be dedicated to Southgate Recreation and Park District, who worked with the applicant and county to ensure they are appropriately located and sized. Primary access to the subdivision is provided via 4th Street, which will be constructed out from Waterman Road in the west as each subdivision project is developed. Circulation within the project is provided by minor residential streets, generally laid out in a modified grid pattern to reduce through traffic while minimizing circuitous travel routes for pedestrians and bicyclists. One dead-end court would provide access to 8 parcels in the central block of the southern half of the project. Stub roads are provided for connections to adjacent development. Some changes were made from the original map. Street D was extended further north to increase public access to the park site and decrease the number of backup and side-on lots to that park parcel. There are now 2 access roads from 4th Street, C Street in the center of the subdivision and A Street on the western border. And the number of dead-end courts was reduced from 3 to 1. As you can see, the lotting pattern is designed to align with that of the adjacent subdivisions. So here on the south, lots lining up, and then faintly here on the east, lots lining up in that Spring Garden subdivision. There are a few documents relevant to the environmental review for this project. When the North Vineyard Station specific plan was adopted in 1998, an environmental impact report was prepared that identified significant cumulative impacts resulting from development of the plan area as a whole. Subsequently, a project-specific initial study and mitigated negative declaration, or MND, were prepared for the original Moorview Southeast project that determined the project would not have a significant impact on the environment with the implementation of mitigation measures. For the current proposal, an addendum to the previous initial study and MND was prepared. The addendum concluded that no substantial changes are proposed in the project which would require major revisions of the previous MND. No substantial changes have occurred with respect to the circumstances under which the project is undertaken. There is no new information of substantial importance, which was not known and could not have been known with the exercise of due diligence at the time the MND was adopted, and only minor technical changes or additions are necessary in order to deem the adopted environmental document adequate. The project was presented to the applicable advisory bodies. The Design Review Advisory Committee, or DRAC, met on April 25th, 2024 to consider the project. DRAC members commented that they felt the changes to the circulation were improvements and recommended that the board find the project in substantial compliance with the design guidelines. The Vineyard Community Planning Advisory Council met on May 9th, 2024 to consider the project. Council members primarily discussed circulation, the construction of 4th Street, and the changes from the original map as I described previously. No public comments were received, and the CPAC recommended that the board approve the requested entitlements. The proposed project is consistent with county ordinances and policies, including all general plan policies, such as Land Use Element Policy 5, which specifies minimum required densities. The project is also consistent with all policies, development standards, and design guidelines of the North Vineyard Station Specific Plan, is consistent with the zoning code for which all required findings can be made, and is consistent and as conditioned, and with implementation of the required mitigation measures, there are no significant environmental concerns. At this time, staff recommends that the Planning Commission make the following recommendations to the board. Determine that the previously adopted mitigated negative declaration, together with the CEQA addendum, is adequate and complete. Adopt the mitigation monitoring and reporting program. Approve the vesting tentative subdivision map, subject to findings and conditions. And find the project in substantial compliance with the design guidelines, subject to findings and conditions. That concludes my presentation. The applicant is here and happy to take any questions the council members may have, as am I.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions for staff? No? We'll like to provide the applicant an opportunity to speak and testify on the project.
I'd like to get the applicant sworn in, Chair. So, sir, if you please raise your right hand and the appropriate response is I do. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give the commission is the truth, so help you God? And if you do not swear, do you so affirm?
I do.
Okay, if you'd state your name for the record and then make this statement, I have been sworn.
My name is Jerry Apples with Burrell Consulting Group, and I have been sworn.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Good evening, members of the commission. I want to, first of all, thank you for coming this evening in such a horrible weather night. Appreciate that, and staff as well that's here today. Emma did a great presentation and was very thorough, and I think she covered everything. So I won't go over that too much unless the commission wants to hear more information. But I would like to say that, first of all, thank you for Emma for working with this project, and it was really great to process this. It worked very smoothly. And that I'd like to say that on behalf of my client, that they agreed to all the recommended conditions that are identified in the staff report. And we asked to approve the application as presented to you, and I'm here to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. Any questions? No questions? No questions. Thank you very much.
First, thank you.
And Chair Conklin, for the record, there are no public comments.
You beat me.
Okay.
Well, are there any questions or comments by the commissioners at the dais?
No, I go ahead and move the staff recommendation.
So we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. Can you please call the roll?
Certainly. Commissioners Conklin,
Aye.
Corona Sabagnano,
Aye.
and Devlin.
Aye.
And the motion carries with those members present.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I pass the baton off to the planning director.
Thank you, Commissioner Conklin. Just a brief couple of items for the planning director's report tonight. First, I want to report back to at least the three of you that the Board of Supervisors did approve the Mission Avenue Apartments East and West items. As you recall, those were on appeal to the Board of Supervisors. Second, I mentioned a few meetings ago, there's a whole host of new legislation coming out this year. We are feverishly working through that to update our zoning code and other processes. I will be having some discussions with probably Bill and others at our county council office to put on some sort of mini training, just so everybody's on the same page with respect to what that new legislation entails as it relates to not just housing projects, but other things that might be of interest to the commission. So stay tuned for that. Third, we have a new principal planner who is not here tonight, but you may remember Jessica Brandt many, many months ago. Went on to Folsom. Her replacement started last week. His name is Matt Diaz. He comes to us from the city of Stockton most recently, but previously in other jurisdictions in the Sacramento region. So he'll be joining in the new year these meetings. He's not here tonight, obviously. Nope, still not here. So more to come. I'll formally introduce him when he actually arrives. And then last, I wanted to make note that I have put a bug in the ear of the Supervisor-elect Rodriguez, Chief of Staff, to get a new appointment for District 4 ASAP. Obviously, we have to wait for her to take office in January, but we do have 4 items on the agenda for the first meeting in January. So not just those items, but other projects that are pending. And I know everybody's anxious to get 5 commissioners again. So
Outstanding. Thank you for that. Are there any miscellaneous scheduling items?
Sorry, for the record, that was the planning director's report, and there are no miscellaneous scheduling items nor public comments.
No public comments?
No public
Well,
comments.
Then at 5:46, we will adjourn.
Thank you.